Yeah. Modern Relics podcast. I'm Angel. He's lucky we're back. The holidays are here, man. How are you?
I'm
Yes.
feeling it. I'm feeling the spirit.
What is going on with your shirt?
Well, I decided to go no shirt today and just
Yeah.
show off all my Christmas tattoos. It says Xmas Life right there above my belly button.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just checking out some of the new ink.
I love it.
Yeah.
I
No,
was
this is a
wondering
very
with the
tacky
Christmas
gift I was-
life, but the eye is a bullet. Like, is that supposed to be Santa Claus with no clothes on? I don't know.
I think it is. I
Yeah.
think this is supposed to be like what Santa looks like underneath.
Your right
his
bicep
suit.
right here. What does that say?
My right
yeah,
bicep?
yeah. It says wife, kids, or something. Your fingers are on it right now.
Oh no. I haven't looked at it. Says
Ho ho ho, kids.
kids. Yeah. I haven't really explored all this yet.
No,
but,
that's glorious.
yeah. Well, I got it as a gift from a friend in town, and my friend Summer, and she thought it would. She saw it online, and thought it would be really cool to get me.
Mm-hmm.
And she asked me what my size was, and I didn't know what I was getting. And I was like, extra large. And she says, cool. So she orders it, but she ordered it off of like Temu or TikTok or something like that. And she ordered the extra large, but this, and it says it on the tag, but this must be like a Korean extra large.
Yeah, it's size Chinese boy. That's what happens.
It's sweltering hot, and I feel like I'm already getting cancer from wearing it. For
Probably.
the last 10 minutes.
Did it smell terrible when you unpackaged it?
Oh yeah. I've had it for like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the second time I put it on, but I washed it. So I washed it, and yeah, it's not comfortable. So,
yeah, I love it.
But I'll suffer. I'll suffer for the holidays.
It's gonna start sweating. Well, yeah. So what's good with the holidays? You've got plans, presumably. What's happening?
Yeah. Well, we went and got our Christmas tree last night.
Yes.
And that's always fun for my family because we do it together. The kids love going, and it's an ordeal because there is a particular, I'm there to basically approve and pay for the thing typically.
Right.
But my wife has a very particular image of the type of tree and how big, and and the kids are on board too, but they also, they're like, no, this one's 2-cylinder. This one doesn't have enough of a pyramid. This one's wonky in this area. So it is a 45-minute ordeal walking around the place like 3 or 4 times. And that's fine because we laugh the whole time. We're having a great time together as a family. It is not a chore. It is actually a joy. Kate brought her boyfriend this time, so he got to participate in our family hijinks, which was great. He realized more so than ever, I think, how nuts we are.
Yeah.
And but is leaning into the insanity. He has left today. The guy, makes good money. He runs an asphalt company here in town. And he's a hard worker, but he doesn't like to sit around in the winter. He doesn't have a lot of work to do, so he gets kind of restless, but there isn't a lot of work around here for him that pays in the bracket that he's accustomed to and what his skill sets are set for. He was offered a job to do like road line painting.
Yeah.
So he got his CDL, passed the test, got his LLC together, put together a crew, and left today for Virginia.
Wow.
To start working out there. Bought himself a trailer and a brand new truck, headed out there today, and he is gonna go make a lot of money, and hopefully we'll see him right around Christmas. But I'm really proud of my daughter, who doesn't have a lot of experience in the dating world. This is her first boyfriend. She's never held a hand before this guy, and the maturity level of a 20-year-old is typically lacking nowadays, but specifically when you don't have the experience to run off of in a mature relationship where you understand certain sacrifices.
Sure.
And you understand that he's doing this for a bigger plan. And the selfish tendencies tend to bleed through. And you go, no, I don't want you to go. I want you to be here. This is our first Christmas together, da 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 da. But she understands what he's doing and why.
Mhm.
And she's taking it very maturely. And I'm very proud of her for going, no, he's got to go do this. He's got to go, most people, even in their 20s and 30s, if they've been dating for under a year, it's hard to separate people.
Right.
They don't want to be away from each other. And she has the maturity enough to understand that he's going to go away for a month and then he's going to come back. And they'll keep in contact, and she'll be, super happy when he gets home and stuff. And he's going to be out there living in a trailer, just stacking cash. And she gets that. She gets that he's doing that to build them a future. And I have 100% trust in the kid. Like, I don't even think for a minute, doesn't even enter my brain that he'll get up to hijinks out there.
Yeah.
He's, I know for a fact that kid is 150% loyal to my daughter, and that there's no doubt in my mind that he's going to work and he's going to eat and he's going to go to bed and he's going to do it all over again. That's it. And that's, and he's just going to stack bills and come home.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's basically what's going on with us. We do plan on going to, and I'd like to promote this for any of the locals who listen. Every year we have a really special event that has become part of our family traditions, much like we were talking about last episode. But one of the family traditions that we do here that we started about 3 years ago, they do a live action nativity scene here in Post Falls. And normally it's at the racetrack. I think they changed the venue this year. It's on Mother Road and Liberty Lake, actually, in Washington this year. But it's called A Night in Bethlehem. And it is, I didn't really know what to think when we first went. Like, it'll probably be kind of cool. No, it was unbelievable. They have a full setup town of storefronts and houses and stuff that are all like built up, and it is like what it would look like in Bethlehem. And there are live animals everywhere. Everything from donkeys to chickens to pigs and everything in between that are just wandering about. And cows, even like small, like Highland cows, and a whole bunch of really cool just animals. So it's like a petting zoo at the same time.
And
but
then
all of the people,
they go to Sacred Heart Medical Center and select one lucky mother to be to bring her down to the manger area for a live birth. And it's incredible.
that'd be hilarious.
Guys,
But
draw
what
the
they do
line.
is they set it up that everyone can wander around in this, and there's actual shops like that you can buy like handmade jewelries or handmade candles and stuff, and they do it right there.
Is this the one where you spend like fake Roman coin currency at the little shops?
Yes.
Yeah, you told me about this last year.
Yeah, you can't actually use cash at any of these places. You have to go to the money changer, and they will change out your money for like little bags
that's
of
right.
like Roman coins, right? And you can only spend those on all these different things. There's a blacksmith. You can actually blacksmith with the guys there and make cool jewelry or knives or anything like that. It's really neat. They've got a bunch of different like food and like hot cocoa vendors and stuff like that all over the place.
So this could be like an all-day event if you wanted it to be, or just a couple of hours checking it out kind of thing.
Well, it goes from 4 to 7:30, and it goes on like the weekends, I think, Saturday and Sundays.
Nice.
And it goes from for the rest of the year till the 21st, and it's 4 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. And then so you get to wander around. They even have like axe throwing stuff, and they try to keep it somewhat thematic, but there's a little wiggle room and creativity in that.
Axe throwing stuff for the kids,
Right. They even have like Roman soldiers dressed up, walking around, trying to um, hustle you for money, like
Oh
trying to
no,
get
they're
you to
going to
give,
tax the
like
kids.
they're trying to tax everybody, the Roman soldiers, and they're all in character, and it's
They
hilarious.
put them in stocks
They
in
do such a
midday
good
and
job.
like throw rocks at them and stuff.
Yeah, and then so they at the end, like near the end, they have everyone sit down,
Mm-hmm.
and then what they do is they do the full like nativity story, and they
Mm-hmm.
actually have, you know, Mary and Joseph coming in on a donkey, and then they actually do the whole manger scene
Nice.
and go through the biblical aspects of it, and they have a big star that comes up, and then the wise men show up, and all the, you know, it's so well done and so well recreated. And then after that, they let you kind of spend whatever money you have left, and then they have a big wish tree. They have a giant tree that they have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of little pieces of paper that are all in sealed, and you can buy one, and what that does is the money gets promoted to helping like kids without families to get Christmases,
Mm-hmm.
and then each one of those is like a selected child that you actually get to buy stuff for that kid
Oh, that's
who has a
cool.
wish list. And so there's a whole bunch of really cool stuff with it, but we love doing that as a family. If you're in the North Idaho or Spokane area, I highly recommend it. It is called A Night in Bethlehem. It's at Mode, which is not where it normally is. This will be new for me, but it's at 2110 North Mother Road, Liberty Lake, and it goes from Saturday the 13th and Sunday the 14th from 4 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. and Saturday December 20th and 21st from 4 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. We're going Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you have to buy tickets in advance, but you can if you want. Um, but yeah, there's live music performances, um, active Bethlehem marketplace with interactive vendors, family pictures in the manger with Mary and Jesus, indoor market vendors with warm food and hot drinks for purchase, warm fire. Oh yeah, they have fire like campfires everywhere. You can actually
Nice.
hang out. Activities for kids, families, community gathering, opportunity to support the largest giving tree in the Pacific Northwest, supporting families in need. So yeah, it's just really really neat. Every year we try to bring someone new,
Yeah.
and it's fun. So, but
I
that's
did
what we're
this
going to be doing.
thing a couple of times they do down here, which is not nearly as cool as what you described, but they pretty much cordon off this large parking lot of like a strip mall or whatever, and you buy tickets, and it's as many people as can fit in your car for one ticket, essentially. So it's per car. And but what you do is you like drive in a serpentine fashion through these like cone areas, and they set like a little speed limit for you and tell you to turn your radio station to like AM 431 or whatever. And as you're driving through these lights and Christmas themed stuff throughout all these different thematic Christmas like movies and all this stuff, hey, S Lance 23, as you're going through, whatever's playing on the radio is like the looping tracks that like sync up the lights that you're driving through, and it comes through the radio, all the Christmas carols and Christmas songs and stuff. And I think all the money goes to charity. It did last year. I don't know about the first year, but it's pretty cool. And they leave it up for like weekends only for all month long kind of thing. So
That's really cool.
yeah, it's
That
pretty
sounds
rad.
fun.
I was like, well, let's
Yeah.
all pack into the pickup truck and just like, usually you'll like load up on ice cream cones or something across the street and then kind of like ham through this thing. And it's pretty long. It takes a good like 10 or 15 minutes. You get through all the songs, and there's like dancing snowmen and, you know, snowstorms and a big tree at the end that lights up with the crescendo of a song. It's pretty cool, but not
That's
near as
neat.
rad as like trying to pick fights with fake Roman people that are taxing the kids, dude. That sounds great.
While you're petting a ram.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a Conan the Barbarian sword for no reason at all. Don't mess with the kids.
Go
That's
all
awesome.
Peter from, I don't know. Yeah, Peter was born, but he was a kid at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking he'd go all Peter on and pull a sword.
No. So everyone's just chilling at home. Going to be kind of a small last family all together, not out to college and moved away and stuff type of Christmas.
No, we'll all be at the house and we'll all be just doing kind of a mellow thing because that's typically what we like. We'll do stuff Christmas Eve with a bunch of other people and even Christmas night with people. But Christmas morning, that's all we do. That's all we do. We just do our own morning Christmas and we don't allow anyone else. It's been kind of our tradition for our quiet time. If we have someone from out of town, which is rare, they get to be a part of it too. But
they only get to see the Christmas tree from like noon to 4 p.m. and then you shepherd them off into another room down the hall and lock them in, kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's good.
For sure.
Good Christmas cheer. That's awesome. So I have nothing. I'm chilling at the house. I put up a tree. I've got some decorations up. It's going to be ultra low key, like turbo low key, no traveling, no craziness. Pretty excited for it. The temperature went back up. It's now 65 degrees. That's a W. It broke all the way down to 38. I thought I was in real danger of snowfall at any time for a couple of days there. So all is well. We're heading toward a warm Christmas. I'm all about it.
Do you have any like evening plans with local friends?
Yeah, Christmas Eve, I'm gonna have Chris and Megan are gonna come squeeze through for a couple of hours. I think she flies on Christmas Day back to see her family in the Midwest and stuff. So we'll probably do, if they show up in the morning, I'll probably have like cinnamon rolls and coffee, and if they show up in the evening, we'll probably do like pizza and hot wings or something. But no big event or not hosting anything cool. No sommeliers and wine tasting or anything fun. So
fair enough.
Yeah. Oh. So we got a stacked card tonight, man.
We do.
The first thing I read in the pregame tonight was Tim Pool and his house getting shot at, and I have a significant amount of thoughts queued up for this. But talk me through what you think led to this, and when did this happen?
So, Tim Pool lives in West Virginia, and he does. For those who don't know, Tim Pool is one of the biggest political podcasters in the universe. Like, you've got your Candace Owens and your Tucker Carlsons, but you got your Joe Rogans and you got your Tim Pool, and Tim Pool's right up there, and he's an ex-skateboarder kid who got politically active, out of Chicago. He's half Asian, but he got politically active during the Wall Street stuff. When they were protesting all the Wall Street stuff, and he started filming it all, and then just kind of dropped out of high school and became like a politically active kid. He's really smart. Really, really smart and fiercely independent. And he has, over the course of time, gone from kind of your anarchist, left-leaning, Democrat into libertarian-leaning conservative, because he just sees sense for sense rather than like ideology. And and so he just has gone, none of that makes sense, this makes sense. So he's very, very analytical that way, and I've watched him for years. He has a nightly show. He's got some of the world's best guests that he gets everybody on there, and it's pretty incredible. He's been recently, as everybody else has been, embroiled in the nonsense that is the Candace Owens show. After the death of Charlie Kirk, Candace has obviously been going on a conspiratorial tirade of contradictory nonsense that she's claiming is fact. And he has
her sphere always lands on like anti-Semitic sentiment, and that's usually the chalk answer for a lot of her shit over the last year and a half. So,
and that's relatively new since she got married. And that's even a weird situation. She got married to a man named George Farmer, who was a British like his dad is the man who is in charge of the jewels in the crown of the king of England.
Yeah.
Like he's elite level family, billionaire, and George Farmer they're all Catholic. And they met and knew each other for less than 2 weeks. They never went to dinner. They never had a date. He proposed to her over a Zoom call. She said yes. They got married. They've had 2 or 3 kids by this point. And the weird thing is that George Farmer was the owner and CEO of Parler. Remember Parler?
Mm-hmm.
The kind of Twitter, conservative Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Which is now being considered, it was a CIA op to group up and gather information of conservatives, and it's what pushed and propelled most of J6 and got shut down. And so there's a lot of speculation as to where his alignments lie, but he is very much in the Nick Fuentes Catholic side of things, where they're highly anti-Israel, anti-Zionism, highly anti-Jew, anti-Semitic group of people. Now, is he a Groyper? No, he's not one of the Frog Boys, but he's adjacent in ideology. And she married him, and instantly, all of a sudden, she converted to Catholicism and went bananas. And she started going further and further and further. And now she's being sued by the French government because she started saying Macron's wife was a man, and said that she had all these facts. And they're like, you don't have anything, and we're going to sue you. So she's currently embroiled in a major.
Yeah, she's been up to some wild shit.
The entire country of France is after her right now. So, but she thinks that they've got death squads filled with Jews that are trying to kill her because of Charlie, because of her exposing the Charlie stuff. Now, TPUSA has come out and said, right. TPUSA has come out to try to finally diffuse and dismantle and reject all of the things that she said. They came out and said, we're done with this. She's trying to tear down TPUSA. She's an absolute lunatic. Nothing that she says is true, and we're willing to debate her on air.
TPUSA is Tim Pool's media group?
No. This is Charlie Kirk's.
Okay, got it.
So Charlie Kirk's, yeah.
I know, we're going really fast. I'm trying to keep the audience on. Right. I know what they are, but go on.
So TPUSA, Charlie Kirk's group, she's been attacking it, even inferring that Erica Kirk and TPUSA had Charlie killed, all sorts of nutty stuff with no evidence. And she'll track planes and that have nothing to do with it, but then try to connect the dots. And it's like
she's looking for a problem that isn't there a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, and it's become very apparent to anyone who has any discernment that she's pushing an agenda because she's attacking them to split the base, which is what the Groypers want. It's what most of the anti-Semites want. And she's trying to blame Israel for a lot of it, which is totally crazy. But, so TPUSA, their current frontman basically said, hey, we'll bring you on. Because she's like, anytime, any place. She said that on her show. I will debate them. He goes, okay, here you go. Come on. We're going to dismantle you with or without you being here, but we're giving you the opportunity to show up. Sure. You pick the time and the place. So they pick a time and a place. They go, you can come here. We will fly you here. We will pay for everything. And she's like, at first, okay. And then she backs out and goes, no, that's dangerous. They'll kill me if I go there.
Right.
And also, it's my husband's birthday, the date that they picked. And they're like, what? Like, well, then pick another day. And she's just like, no, I'm too busy. And they're like, that doesn't make any sense. It turns out the day, December 15th, pardon me, that they decided to try to set this off. is in fact not her husband's birthday. She lied about that, and they went back and changed the Wikipedia to change his birthday. But his birthday is July 7th.
Wow.
And there's video after video after video of her talking about her husband's birthday coming right after the 4th of July. They're going to hang out with family and do 4th of July stuff, and then her husband's birthday's on the 7th, and da 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 da. And going, and the Wayback Machine also shows that his birthday was July 7th.
This is like shades of Kamala Harris and Joe Rogan.
It's insane. She's totally crazy. But so going back to Tim Pool has been pointing out all of these errors and contradictions and going, she's not right. And in fact, nobody at this point seems to hate Charlie Kirk more than Candace Owens, because she is trying to destroy his legacy. Why is she doing that? This is the strong. She is intentionally. If we lose the midterms, it is because of Candace Owens. It is because she has gone out of her way to divide. Because I even have a lot of friends who are like on the Candace Owens train. They're like, no, you're not watching her. She's making a lot of good points. I was like, I've watched all of her clips, and none of those points are even remotely close to it. I don't even understand how you think that this is reality. But she's intoxicating, specifically kind of to the female set of the conservative movement. They really love her, but there's even some guys that are on board with it. But they just love that kind of conspiratorial drama, and I think that is a symptom of what we went through in 2020 and 2021 that is a holdover, like we've talked about in the past, where there's just elements of that people got addicted to, the QAnon stuff and all that just breaks their brains, and they just cannot see reality through the enticement of a good story. And but Tim doesn't buy into it, so he has been calling her out and telling everybody. Now, I don't know. It was right after the show, I think, that he had with Milo came on and was saying all sorts of nut stuff, because Milo, as crazy as he used to be, he's out to Planet 9 now. He's not even on this plane.
But Yiannopoulos? Yeah, that guy was a blip on my radar in 2017 maybe, and I was like, this guy's a fucking whack job even back then. So that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
He's been making kind of a trying to make a comeback, but apparently he's got cancer now, so he's fighting that, and he's going through some health issues. But it's unfortunate. What ended up happening is the day after that, like after that show on December 5th, and this is the overview here. On December 5th, 2025, Tim Pool, a right-wing political commentator, which isn't true, and podcaster, reported that a vehicle approached his home in Harpers Ferry, West Virginia, and opened fire. Fortunately, no one was injured during the incident. Pool stated that his security team is investigating the shooting and will report the findings to law enforcement. He expressed concern that the attack might have been an attempt to intimidate him, but noted that his security measures, including a security gate and armed guards, likely prevented a more serious situation. The incident drew responses from several prominent figures in the conservative community. Megyn Kelly expressed her sympathy, saying, "This is awful, and this is awful, Tim. I'm so sorry this happened." Marjorie Taylor Greene called the event terrifying and emphasized the need to stand against political violence, regardless of personal opinions about the individuals involved. The shooting incident is part of a troubling trend of political motivated attacks in recent years. Tim Pool has been swatted like 15 to 20 times, where they call in a bomb threat or open shooting, and they get swatted, right? He's used to that, but he's also at the point where like nothing's ever happened. They know who did it, but no charges will be brought against these people for whatever reason. He's been very vocal about his frustration with that over the course of the last couple of years. I think his frustration is like, what are they going to do? They won't do anything about the swatting, but somebody shoots at my house, and like now, like what are they going to do now? So what to me this is it may not even be that somebody dislikes Tim or his opinions. To me, what this feels like is the division factory needs more.
Right.
You know, and this is one of those things where now Tim is like screaming at Candace Owens and calling her an effing cunt and all sorts of stuff online. Like he's going crazy because there are now that the fracturing is happening, and they need incidences like this to keep propelling that in order to divide everybody into different sects. And it's all intentional because they want to win the midterms, and they know the Democrats have no platform. They've got no, but all they've got to do is divide the right and make us all look like crazy people fighting with each other and too busy to do anything productive, so that the Democrats can just kind of sneak in and kind of take over the midterms. Now, that's obviously the main theory, but when you look at what's been going on with Elon Musk and what he implemented with his X platform, where he decided, you know what, I'm really suspicious of the overwhelming, and I don't know if any of you guys have been on X lately, but it is overwhelming, and they really target young people or certain demographics. Like my nephew says that's all he gets on his feed is basically Nick Fuentes and anti-Jewish stuff and different accounts, Nazi accounts and stuff like that. And there's tons of them. And if anybody says anything against that, you get swarmed, and it is just, you get ratioed out of the planet. Like, and everyone's like, this doesn't feel organic. And so Elon was like, it's not. Yeah. So Elon went and decided, okay, there's a new feature on X where it will tell you what country of origin you are posting from. Turns out, as in opposition to what the $7,000 that people are getting paid from Israel to be pro-Israel over here, none of that's true. But it turns out that very, very few accounts are actually coming out of Israel. The rest of them, most of them, an enormous amount of them, are coming out of not only Russia, but like Iran and Syria and all of these like Middle Eastern countries that are pretending to be like Nazi white boys from Kansas, you know, that are all groypers, you know, and they're all of these groyper accounts and all of these Nazi accounts are actually fake bot farm
They're just
accounts.
bot farms.
Yeah, and all over the place to influence infighting within the United States via social media in order to create a shift in the dial, a shift in the, you know, and create that division. And it's working. It's working tremendously. They're doing a fantastic job, gold star. And it's terrifying because
he or she who controls the narrative controls the people. I'm so frustrated that we have another public figure shot at again. Like, you are probably right on the line. I'm just behind the line of a generation where you could take the pickup truck to high school for the day and you could still have the shotgun in the gun rack in the window, where you could enroll in marksman classes for your physical education, like minor credit systems. And now we're erasing public figures or showing of force with armed militants and violence. Like, why is any of this okay? It's not okay. It's not being prosecuted. It's not being treated as harsh as I feel that it should be, because we've really gone way off the rails with reactions like this to people's speech. And to your point about the division factory in the midterms and the potential reasons for why Tim Pool was recently shot at, and that's unfortunate to hear. Like, you don't have to look far at your Democratic elected officials to figure out that they're really, really mad at their constituents and don't like them very much. An example I can provide you off the top of my head is the big, beautiful bill passes, and if you're in the service industry, you no longer have to pay federally recognized taxes on tips. So what do the state governments do in Democrat states like Illinois, California, New York, DC, and somewhere else? They implement a state tax, and you're going to have to issue out of your own pocket back taxes at some cases 4 or 5% against the tips that you thought you weren't going to have to pay taxes on because the federal government just passed a bill against that. So go talk to your Democrat leaders and ask them, why do you get to go behind us at the state level and tax us for what was just taken out in this bill? Problem solved, case closed. That's one example. But like, the machine is getting out of control, bro. Like, we can't disagree with somebody and then instead take them apart on their own platform verbally or with facts, or squelch out a bad idea in the marketplace of good ideas by allowing everyone to see it and collectively go, no, that's dog shit, and then kind of squelch it out naturally through the processes of societal behavior. We just get to shoot at one another now. Like, that's where we're at. This is now commonplace. Like, streamers I've seen getting shot at, public figures. Charlie Kirk is obviously one of the more notable ones. Like, left, right, or center, I don't think the right answer is to get shot at. I don't think anyone does on the surface, but why aren't we doing anything about this? Like, you look at where China's at now, where England is headed to, and think that all of these compounded excuses aren't going to be enough for somebody to have just enough votes to be like, meh, gun rights are a joke. You guys shouldn't have them either. And then we just fall down the rabbit hole. Like, why aren't we prosecuting people that are shooting it?
Yeah, we have laws. There are already laws for this, and we're not using them. We don't need new laws. We just need the
to
laws,
enforce the ones we got.
And thoroughly, like, to the fullest extent of them. You know, like, God bless Idaho for implementing the death sentences for pedophiles of certain calibers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your average 17-year-old kid who slipped up with his 16-year-old girlfriend, you know, or whatever, the 18-year-old with a 17-year-old girlfriend, he's gonna get some time in jail and he's gonna learn his lesson, but he's not going to be put in front of a firing squad. But for the egregious ones, we're putting them up against a wall. And literally, we not only pass the death sentence for pedophiles, but we also pass the death or firing squads as a term of death sentences in this state. And we're itching to use it. like every time.
Say, that's going to be a pretty egregious crime to get convicted at a capital punishment level, and then they spin the big wheel, and you either get lethal injection or a firing squad. Like,
it's whatever makes the duty faster. And so, but like the Brian Koberger case with the 4 girls down in Moscow who got murdered, they were hoping that he would be the example setter, that they were going to be able to use him as but he pled to life in prison, and some of the families, not all of them, we actually know and tattoo some of the families. They all come in together, and they're hilarious and healing, very, very nice, by the way. But they tell us about being in court with him, and they're all for it. They would love to watch that guy get put against a wall, but they're not the only ones in the equation.
Obviously.
And there was other things. Yeah, so there was a whole bunch of other circumstances that kind of lent itself to a little more leniency on him. That might change. Things are shifting in his case, and he's said some weird stuff. So they may have to revisit, but that's down the line. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the train stops before it crashes. You know, I don't know if there's brakes on this train. And I think that's actually something
we've had more successful and attempted assassinations in the last 48 months than probably my entire life on Earth combined prior to the last 48 months.
Right. Agreed. But this is something that Tim Pool has been kind of predicting for the last 3-4 years, where it became a drinking game that he would say the word civil war every time he saw the escalation getting to a point. He's like, where do we go? Like, this is escalating to a point. Like,
Right.
no one wants to back down. Nobody wants to sit at a table. Nobody wants to actually hash out ideas anymore. They want violence and they want to shoot each other. And how do you stop that train? How do you stop people from appealing to their most base instincts of like, I'm just going to shut them up and by any means necessary.
Abhorrent behavior.
Yeah. And he would get almost mocked and ridiculed on a fairly regular basis by people who go, okay, Tim, it's going to be civil war. And he goes, do you see another outcome? He goes, it may not be tomorrow, but with the escalation that's happening, where else? Like, where's the stop? Where do we get off the train?
The thing is, it's not a thought experiment when shots are actively being fired.
Right.
We've gone into a completely different universe. You know, we're not doing a great job at pulling this holiday episode together with firing squad talk. I'll move on. We know where I'm at on this, but
before we do, let's talk about.
Yeah.
Let's talk about like what's fueling this fire, which is these bot farms. You know, this is helping fuel the fire. People like Candace Owens and these bot farms are the people that are fueling the antagonization between the two sides, between the five sides. Whatever game of Chinese checkers we're playing, everyone's at each other's throats. And there is no wiggle room for sitting down at the table. But these bot farms are designed for the social media that we can't seem to break free from to compel us to certain feelings, to compel us to certain, you know, when the algorithm hits and you are just getting fed. And, you know, I have multiple sock accounts so that I can do like spy stuff that I do with the local people here, where I can actually follow them because they all my regular accounts, they have me blocked. And right. I just want to I don't interact with it. I don't do anything. I just keep an eye on them to make sure they're not going the way of the Tim Pool incident, you know, that if I see anything, this is getting dangerous, stuff like that. But so yeah, I've got a lot of like those accounts, but I build them so that they don't get detected by those people. And so those feeds on those accounts, it is insane. The amount of full-on hostile, violent rhetoric coming from these Nazi right guys, you know, that I'm like, this isn't conservatism. They're not even conservatives.
These
They're
systems
collectivists.
were rife for hostile takeover by the architecture of their own design. Think about it. Like when we used to gather for stuff, there was always a pinnacle reason, and there was this is what's happening, and here's the projected output, either conversation, or you're here to see a decree being read by the town squire, or you're gonna go watch a space shuttle. Or we used to congregate at church, and that was the largest institution for social interactivity besides the telephone, which was very costly. These social media platforms are the largest social experiment in history, in that it allows anonymity by the users today, maybe not tomorrow, to interact free of reason, with full promotion of whatever they choose to or not to participate in, with zero structure. This has never happened before.
Or accountability.
Yeah. I mean, it's designed right now to not have accountability because of its anonymity today. Tomorrow, maybe not so much. Yeah. That's insane. This was rife for hostile takeover. Like within any system, you can exploit the system, period. There's always the outliers. So these bot farms, which are not a new idea, if you look at like the election banter several cycles ago, this has been ongoing for a long, long time. every country has their bot farms fed by their AI machines with all their cell phones connected and full-time streaming dialogue, information, and sentiment in and out of social media, because what's rewarded is the most popular trending ideas. That's typically what you get fed when you have a clean slate. And when they pocket you with all of these tangential related points, you start to get that positive feedback loop. This was rife for takeover by its very architecture. And so, it's amazing to me the people that use this shit that don't see that.
Right. It's crazy to me.
By design, it's rife for takeover. If you and I had enough cell phones tonight, we could change the world opinion on one thing.
Yeah.
Promise.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Just all you have to do is filter in an idea and use the algorithm network of enough devices that basically you could shift,
just build and make popular a trending item that then gets dispersed and then picked up and becomes an avalanche. Yeah, it's absurd.
And there are people who understand this and use it and exploit it, and there are people who understand it and think that it's evil and don't want to have anything to do with it. And then there's people who don't even recognize that it exists and are absolutely manipulated by it.
Which is the majority, in my opinion.
Agreed. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. So, but I think that we have explored the doom and gloom enough for this Christmas episode.
Yeah. Got to start with all the doom and gloom and move our way through. So we'll talk pulp culture a little bit. Netflix and Warner Brothers. So there's this
is wild.
This projected bid for Netflix to purchase and own Warner Brothers. And this deal will unite a ton of franchises, right? Like if you think about IPs going way back in time, you go from Looney Tunes to Harry Potter to the entire catalog of HBO. So there's a lot of stuff involved in this. HBO Sports, the after hours stuff, and then your prestige television things. All this stuff would fall under what I would consider the first ever media streaming service monopoly, if you don't count the hijinks and antics of Disney, right? But to your point, they're about on scale.
Yeah.
Because we talked about that a little before the show. But I think the output of that, if it does go through, means at least two things obvious to me. It means price increase, one, and it means the American consumer, at least, and probably all the world consumers of Netflix, are very much losing faith in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like, I think out of pragmatism, people would be like, oh, one bill and I get all of these services on one spot. Way better than I have a Disney subscription, a Netflix subscription, a HBO one. I've got one for Paramount Plus. Then I've got, this over there. It's funny how the cord cutting, like first we had one box with a ton of money that went out. We're like, we don't like paying all this money. So then they split that box into a bunch of services. And then we paid the premiums on all those services. And now everyone's like, what if we put them all into one box? But this monopoly has some pretty serious implications for programming at large, especially under one roof where
on a philosophical level alone, what we've done now is by these collaborations and monopolies, basically what we're doing now is we're not giving ourselves the options anymore for competition.
Mm-hmm.
So now they can do whatever they want. They can charge whatever they want because there is nowhere else to go. You either go to Disney or you go to Netflix. Those are the only two options. It is Pepsi and Coke. It is Democrats and Republicans. Now we are in that dual dichotomy where they can do whatever they want because those are the only two options. So you get to pick this devil or this devil.
I hate it because when you have a sickness like Disney has, where you get so furious at the ideology being forced down your throat that you cancel your subscription, but then you lose out on the entire intellectual property of franchises that you love, I can't watch Marvel movies because I'm pissed off at Star Wars, which was my case, right? That's one example. Like
Yeah.
that sucks. Just from the competitive choice situation. Like I swear we're just months away from Brondo, the thirst mutilator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like where you're just like, what are we doing? Do you think this deal will go through? I mean, I know there was a hostile counteroffer by the Paramount folks to try and, but I don't want to see the Warner Brothers property get bought by anybody. That's a massive body of content.
Just besides, you know, the HBO stuff and the big chunks that they're taking, because they also get Cinemax and all these other Discovery, all of that gets rolled in, right?
Yeah.
But all of DC.
Yeah.
Like the entire DC universe, including the comic books. All comic books will now be owned by Netflix. So they'll own the entire catalog of the DC universe.
And then we're
Netflix
just hours away from everything being K-pop and manga.
Right. Yeah. The whole Matrix franchise.
Yeah.
The whole Wizarding World, everything that has anything to do with Harry Potter, now it's all Netflix. All of the Lego movies, the Conjuring universe, the whole Mad Max universe, The Hangover. As far as TV shows, you've got Friends, Big Bang Theory, Game of Thrones, Westworld, Looney Tunes, all the DC stuff.
Oh, yeah.
HBO, Discovery Max, and it goes even into video games. The whole Mortal Kombat franchise, the Batman and Lego video games, all of that is all now part of
Warner Brothers property.
Deal.
Yeah.
Well, now Netflix property.
Well, if it goes through,
If it goes through, right.
And this is, I forget the number, $83 billion worth of property that they want to buy in U.S. figures.
Hold on, I've got 82.7 billion.
Sure.
Yep. So yeah, it's crazy. Like the amount of properties. Like I went to the Wikipedia page to see, because that was just the short list was the AI list, basically. Like these are kind of the big ones, you know. But if you go to their Wikipedia page and just go, what does Warner Brothers own? The list of assets owned by Warner Brothers and Discovery, it doesn't stop scrolling. And it's not just stuff that you don't recognize. There's so much. Cartoon Network, Hanna-Barbera, like so much is going to be on the line for this. You know, Paramount is obviously a part of it too, and it's not just here in the United States, it's international. So like HBO has like a Latin portion of it or an Asian portion of it, or in New Zealand. You know, like Cinemax, TNT, all the TNT sports is all going.
I mean, could you imagine, like, if that goes through, that opens the door. Like, I think, is Paramount included or excluded from that? I thought Paramount was the third player. Somebody just made them a counteroffer. I thought it was Paramount. I can't be. It might have been. Let's say that it is, because I don't know for sure. That opens the door for Amazon to be like, well, wait a minute. Then we're just going to buy Paramount CBS, and we're just going to have everything else that comes with, you know, all their IP plus all the Star Trek stuff, plus, you know, everything Paramount's plugged into, all their streaming services. And then we're down to basically Netflix and Amazon, you know, because Hulu's already owned by Disney and shit. I think Disney owns ESPN, Marvel, Star Wars, Hulu.
Yeah.
And something else. National Geographic, Fox,
Fox, all Fox. Remember the big Fox merger? Where they got all the like Aliens and Predator and all of that kind of stuff are all now part of their world. Which is why.
I don't like it. I don't like that we have to pay 100 different companies $12.99 a month to get content that we like, and then we have to pick and choose, or we do without, or whatever. But also, they know like,
that about you.
What about the old cable model? Then why can't I select premium services, add it to my cable package like we used to do, and pay a company for that, and they still get to have their own revenue sharing, because then you get the affiliated local station media money from advertisements plus the national stuff, and then you sprinkle in indie brand deals that are massive, like the independent contract deals with the NBA and the NFL and on. But like, It's
if
Brondo
Cox,
time, dude.
Adelphia, right? If Cox, Adelphia, and Comcast were all smart, they would seize this opportunity right now and go, "Hey, you know what? We'll offer you. I know you guys all left us for
Mm-hmm.
$250 a month cable bills because we decided to
Right.
get super greedy on this, which is what created this mess. But tell you what, if you come back to us and actually just go back to cable, we'll do it for $49.99 a month,
Right.
and
Well,
for a five-year contract.
The problem is they have to sell that to the IP owners to get them to go back into cable. And now that they've launched their standalone platforms where they're like, well, why the hell would I use you as an interstitial when I can direct charge the consumer with my own application? Like, you're right, but I'm fearful that ship has sailed because there aren't too much that aren't like the syndicated programming that's left over besides legacy media deals with these companies.
Right, but it would require whatever like upstart new companies they could get to sign on to do this.
Yeah.
And then when the big three, Disney, Netflix, and Amazon start seeing people flood out of theirs and go to the other ones, then those deals will start being able to be made again. And they'll be like, oh, they're leaving. Okay, well, we're only going to make money if we actually make a deal with these cable companies that are actually where everybody's going again.
Right.
It'll take some time, but that's how all of those things go. You get like one or two, it's the Jerry Maguire thing. He got that one star, right? And he built his company off of getting that one star. And then what he'll do is like build off of that and end up hopefully putting a dent. But I mean, I'm just shooting at the stars right now.
Well,
but,
that's just it. Or you get the antithesis of that, which is me. And I recognize I'm an outlier, but if you budget your finances according to cataloged spend by type, agnostic of what it is, so that you don't play favorites with, well, but I really want to keep spending money on that, you wind up cutting the cord on all of it. Because you're like, wow, my aggregate entertainment spending outgo budget is astronomical because of these subscription costs. Like, let's just do without. And it's bad enough that the cable companies, not regulated hard enough by the FCC, in my opinion, to the exact points that you provided a minute ago, have the balls, because of the monopoly that they have, to charge customers in my area $180 a month for internet only. And my options are pay that or don't have internet.
Right.
Like, so a monopoly like this on the content scale is massive. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what the implications are other than I can guarantee costs will go up. And I am pretty confident we're losing faith in Hollywood if the streaming... Could you imagine the combined power of Netflix and Warner Brothers to create and stream their own movies without having to go to studio wherever in Hollywood?
There's just no way to actually quantify that. So
Hollywood should be scared of this merger.
Liquidate. Yeah, they really should be, and I'll bet you they are, and I'll bet you there's pieces being moved in the background that are probably very powerful players going.
Yeah, because they all got their own lots. There's Paramount lots out there. There's WB lots. There's Sony lots. Like, everyone should be pissed about this. Yeah,
absolutely. So I just thought it was really interesting. I just thought like that.
Yeah,
this was a big move that will, if this merge happens, this is going to kind of upset the landscape of entertainment entirely for a very long time.
And then we're 3 years out from everything being K-pop and Brondo.
I'm moving to the woods at that point. I'm not going to be around for that.
We'll have to do this podcast via Morse code going forward. So you have the dope for this week.
Nope. I've got Conspiracy Corner.
Oh, Conspiracy first. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, we're gonna do Conspiracy first, and then we'll go to the dope, and we'll end on a lighter note. This one is actually not unlight. It is, but it's not heavy either. So,
yeah.
But I do need my hat on for this because I need to make an assessment, and
If
this
you're new
helps
here
me.
and you're watching, every time we have the tinfoil hats on, we are in a conspiracy zone, and we're not held liable for the words that we say or the actions we take or the things we choose to believe during Conspiracy Corner. Brought to you by,
Not at
just
all.
joking, we don't have a sponsor for this segment yet. Go on. Conspiracy Corner, what do you got?
So I dug around. I was trying to find a really good Christmas conspiracy,
Yeah.
and I could have gone down a lot of rabbit holes on the origins of Christmas and whatever the case may be, but
Really brighten
that
the
just
mood.
seemed, yeah, really brighten the mood. But really, there's not a lot of Christmas conspiracies. Like there are a few, but they're kind of weaker ones. And I thought about doing maybe like a Mothman one.
Sure.
I maybe do that one because it happened right around Christmas time. The original Mothman kind of sightings that like the movie was built off of in the books and such, and those incidences. But really, I thought I'd do something more. More modern and more kind of unsolved and interesting to me, which was last year. So last year, at the end of 2024, right after Christmas, going into 2025, how many of you remember? Because man, the news cycle will kick your butt and you will forget things. I forgot about murder hornets that were supposed to come get us all
I
during
never forgot the murder hornets. Yeah.
You're still looking out for him.
I'm still spraying
traps
every month.
outside.
Damn right.
Yeah. So,
have you seen one of those in real life though? Just way off topic.
Not in real life.
They're
not in real life. No.
Fucking terrifying. They're like,
yeah.
You're like, that's a bird. Like, what's happening here? Yeah. No good. Go on. Sorry.
But one of the things that happened last year that we all seem to have kind of memory hold was the mystery fog that happened right after Christmas and into January. And it happened all over the country. And it stirred up a bunch of conspiracy theories and it stirred up a bunch of fear because it was weird. And it didn't just happen in the United States. It happened not only in the United States along the West Coast, it happened through the Mideast or the Midwest, and it happened down the East Coast, Texas, Florida, but all the way up into Maryland. And then all the way, we had it here in Idaho.
As a sidebar, I've tried to say the Midwest like 5 or 6 times over the last couple of months, and I keep saying the Middle East when I mean the Midwest. Like, oh, so-and-so's traveling to the Middle East, and everyone clutches pearls, and I'm like, I just said the Middle East,
like,
didn't I? Sorry.
Why?
Yeah, like, yeah. I meant, Michigan.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm sorry.
Not Yemen, I promise.
It's Wisconsin. They like cheese, not bullets. Yeah. Sorry.
But yeah, so this fog came through and it also went worldwide. 4 airplane crashes happened because of it. And they were all international flights outside of the United States, like Denmark and England and a couple other places. But because of this fog, 4 airplane crashes happened, and it was all over parts of Europe, but specifically England, and only seemed to be in somewhat populated areas. And the widespread dense fog across the United States and the UK in late 2024, early 2025 that fueled social media panic and conspiracy theories dubbed FogVid24, like COVID 20, about chemical
they
attacks.
They could have workshopped that name too a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
It doesn't.
Yeah. It's a little rough. But experts explained as a natural phenomenon, advection fog, intensified by weather patterns and trapped pollutants, causing irritation through some linked symptoms, might stem from this mix or seasonal viruses, according to Forbes and CNN and all that. What happened was for days, it was like over a week, there was this thick fog, and if you went outside and shined a light on it, it was like particulates. You could see that it wasn't mist. It wasn't moisture that
Yeah.
had coagulated or any kind. It was very weird, and it stayed like not frozen in 38 to 42 degree weather, was staying on the surfaces, and people were filming it and going, what is it? And some of it was oddly colored, and it all had a chemical smell to it. And then on top of that, people were getting very sick from it, massive headaches, flu-like symptoms, and were having seizures and such. A bunch of different things were going on when exposed to this. I happen to be very leery of it because I'm just like, nah, it's not right. What is that? And we kind of stayed inside or made our outside time very limited. And kind of waited for it to all go away. And I don't remember being fully panicked by it, but watching the news and going, this is very odd.
Right.
Now, there are fog makers. There are makers that create rain clouds. We've talked about these in the past, but there are also fog makers. There is one at the top of the Columbia Tower in downtown Seattle. And every time I would drive up from the south end and be coming up the 5 and I'd be stuck in traffic, I would just watch that fog maker up there create the fog that Seattle lives in constantly. And I'm looking at this thing going, that's not just regular steam, because it's not dissipating. It's in fact dropping and going into the city and creating the fog that I'm looking at all around me. And I would sit there and watch it over and over again. I was like, but I never, I'm driving, and by the time I get to work, I never really looked it up. I was like, oh, that's weird, but never it occurred to me to then commit it to memory in order to look it up. But I always thought that was really weird. But what's going on with this fog that happened last year never got explained. Like, there was some kind of half answers from the scientific world of that, it's just a weird natural occurrence. But no, I'm sorry, that is not a natural occurrence. We've all been through fog before. When you have people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s going, I've never seen fog like this before in my lifetime. And it's literally, you don't get weather patterns that spread across the entire United States. You just don't. Like, there's too many mountains and too many, like, it's just not going to happen. And so if the East Coast, the West Coast, and the Middle East, is experiencing the same type of fog, that is not a natural occurrence. So I don't know what it is. I don't know, but I would imagine it was either an experiment gone wrong, or it was an experiment gone perfectly right that they timed. And I would say that culprits could be anything from CERN to what's the thing up in Alaska?
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But
damn it, why can't I remember it?
Yeah. So, but CERN or that, or even chemtrailing above a cloud line that nobody saw. And,
Here's why I'm buying into this fog. I'm just going to stop you right there and say I'm a true believer.
Okay.
I don't remember this happening at all. I didn't hear anything about it. There were zero news stories on it. And it wasn't something that I'm going, oh, right, I remember when that happened, because I don't. So I think the fog is real and took my memories, possibly. Because until you sent me that article, I had to read it and be like, oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. I remember the Northern Lights piece and getting essentially EMP'd at my house, where I was like, why is everything fucking offline? But I don't remember the fog of 2024 at all.
Yeah. It probably was not. You were in Nevada.
No, I got food poisoning last year flying up to Seattle.
That's right.
And like, I remember everywhere I was and how much I was vomiting on while I was in places. But I don't remember the fog at all. Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't food poisoning after all.
Could be.
Maybe you got fogged.
Maybe I got fogged for the first time. Yeah, no, I mean, like, I was down here.
It was a gentle fogging.
It was just mild fogging. But no, I was down here. Then I went up there, was royally sick, and then flew home, still not feeling great, and recovered the rest of the time at home and stuff. But like, I definitely remember being in and out of the car and where I was going, and it wasn't like I was in a coma. I just had terrible food poisoning. But yeah, I read that whole thing and was like, I don't remember any of this like at all. So
Wow.
I'm buying in. I think I was fogged.
Okay. I would agree because I very specifically remember it, but then
Mhm.
did not remember it until I started looking up Christmas conspiracies.
Sure.
And this came up, and I was like, oh, yeah,
Mhm.
whatever happened to that? And so I started talking to Aaron about it, and we were trying to remember, like, oh, yeah, that happened and that happened. And but yeah, it was a real thing. And
We need to
there's
come
video
up with
after
some
video.
sort of
If you go-
scale for our conspiracy theories on like a rating system of like, are we just raising an eyebrow to full on Y2K panic? Like somewhere in there, we've got to figure
Yeah.
out like a conspiracy scale. I'll have to workshop that with you,
True.
but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's definitely something that was real.
Mhm.
And it was, it even has a Wikipedia page.
No, I'm in.
So
I saw that. I actually looked
Yeah.
around and was like, yeah, this is pretty magnificent. And I remember 0% of any of this. And I lived through it, but 12 months ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's definitely something that I think was definitely chemically based. I think that it was intentional. I do believe that it was not a natural occurrence.
Mhm.
What the origins of it, though, remain a mystery for me, and the purpose behind it. But I would imagine that cancers there'll be a bunch of cancer that comes out of it or something to that effect that cannot be attributed to it
Sure.
conclusively, but I think that it wasn't good. I mean, something that makes that many people sick, and you can go on YouTube and just type it in, and there's video after video of people while it was going on,
Mhm.
and basically going, what is happening? What is this?
Mhm.
I've never seen anything like this. And then people going, I'm so sick. Like, I've never been this sick. I've got the worst headache I've ever had in my life. And all sorts of other ailments that came along with it. But there's video after video after video.
Are you saying
There's
I could
nothing-
probably put my faith back into Quiznos and that maybe it wasn't food poisoning after all?
I think it's worth giving it another shot.
Okay.
So, because a toasty sub is a modern miracle.
That was
and
the
I love
worst,
them.
dude.
So,
So bad.
so yeah, you don't have to go to Quiznos. You've got
Chiba Hut. You bet.
Chiba Hut. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got Chiba Hut. You don't
do.
need Quiznos, man.
And guess what? You guys don't. All you listeners out there, they're not everywhere, but they're where I'm
we
at.
never will.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you guys probably never
we
will.
never will.
Yeah.
No, and for the listeners out there, Chiba Hut is probably the best sandwich shop I've ever been to in my
It's-
life, and
It's the truth.
I go, yeah, and for a chain at least, like there's
Yeah.
probably some New York deli that you're gonna be like,
Yeah.
not, but not,
Like
but
you got to come to Uncle Vic's out in the back, and you're like, you're right. But I mean, for a
Yeah.
chain, yeah, it's the
But-
best.
for a chain. And the thing is, though, it is themed, owned, operated by nothing but stoners. It's all weed
Yeah.
based. Like all the names of the sandwiches are weed based. In fact, even the name of the sizes is like pinner, blunt.
And
all
like
and
the little pretzel bites with they're like a soft pretzel bite that they salt and then they put the honey mustard together. Those are called nugs, and like the whole aesthetic
Yeah.
is weed themed in the walls and all the stuff. Yeah, it's
right. So it's
right.
all stoner merchandise.
Idaho
and
does
stuff.
not like that
But-
stuff.
Yeah, so
No.
that's why in Idaho,
Yeah.
we'll never get one,
Right.
and I'm bummed about that because
It's a killer
if you've never
sandwich.
been to Yeah, and if you've ever been to a Jack in the Box in Renton at like 2 a.m,
Yeah.
you want those guys to be stoned because they make the best food because they're just like, oh yeah, this is how I would eat it, and then they're happy and they give you the fattest sandwich you've ever had in your life.
Dude,
but
speaking of Jack in the Box, can I highlight them while all bets are off with the tinfoil hat still on for a minute? Like,
sure, yeah,
a few years ago, my significant other was out chasing down some food, and we elected on getting a Jack in the Box drive-through in Soto, which is south downtown Seattle. And they were actively taping off the lobby because there was a stabbing that occurred inside the restaurant. They didn't close the drive-through.
naturally.
And I was like, is the drive-through
Yes.
still open? And she's like, yeah. It's like, hit it, dude. So there's an active investigation going on.
Bravo.
It's the drive-through
Bravo.
anyway. And got us
That's
some
the American work ethic I'm talking
brown
about.
bags, some fucking jumbo J's, dude. They were like
Yeah.
unreal. There's like photographic evidence of this. So
Now that's another
later,
burger.
there's like an actual shooting outside of the same restaurant in Soto. It's like, think the drive-thru's open?
Lord.
I don't know. You want me to go
God
check?
bless you. Yeah.
Like, leave it to Jack in the Box, dude. Unbelievable work ethic. Got a tip of the cap
Yeah.
to Jack in the Box, dude. Anyway,
Anyway, yeah. So, as far as the fog goes, I believe in it 100%. I don't know what the origin is.
yeah,
If anybody out there experienced this,
let us know,
or
please.
let us know. Let us know what your experience was with the Christmas fog of 2024, and yeah, let's try to get to the bottom of it because I want answers.
I can't wait
I
for
wanna-
the email that's like, and that's why America voted red is because of the fog. I was like, all right. Yeah.
Right.
Yep, that's
So-
it. It was clairvoyance.
But-
Well, that's Conspiracy Corner, the Christmas fog
Yep.
of 2024. I love it. I'm
It is.
in.
Perfect.
I had those out of order, so now we're gonna do the dope. What do you got this week?
Yes. So the dope, which is my Christmas dope for
Nice.
this year. It is a trying and stressful time for most people if they've got to travel for holidays, spend time with families, and oftentimes you are stuck in a house because you're obligated to be there, you're obligated to hang out with family, and sometimes you're sitting on a couch listening to relatives talk about stuff you don't care about,
Yeah.
but you also don't know when you're going to go up and get to have to do something.
Mhm.
You don't want to get invested in a video game. You don't want to get invested in you know,
I
anything
always
that's
want to
gonna-
get invested in a video game. But time and place.
It's-
Yeah, time and place.
right. So this week I picked a really fun website.
Nice.
And this website is being built by this guy, and I can't remember his name. I tried to look it up, and I can't remember what it is. But he is building this animated, like compilation menagerie of different parts of different rooms, and it's the website is called Floor 796,
Mhm.
and you can get to it by just going to floor796.com. And so if you don't mind, I'm going to
Yeah.
share my screen here.
This is great because I saw this in the pre-show, and it's basically a hodgepodge of all different types of pop culture, which is pretty fun. So I'm going to pull this up
So
on
I'm
the
gonna
big
z-
screen and minimize both of our heads for a second. So now we're just seeing this.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this guy builds this world, and he's still building it. And there's
Yeah.
like a little thing in the corner that basically says, "Hey, I'm still building it. I'm going to be working on it for the next couple of years, but here's the spots that I've finished." And it has and I'm talking about every IP you can
We can see
possibly
Shredder
imagine.
from the
Here's your-
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in there. We can see him next to Bill Gates opposite where he's at, apparently talking to some
Yeah.
schoolgirls. There's some Ninja Turtles in there. There's He-Man
Yep.
getting a leg stretch in the corner. This makes no sense, and it's rad.
Yeah,
There's
so
Barney
there's
Rubble.
Barney
I can see him. And
Yep.
Dino.
And each room is on a loop of animation,
Mhm.
but it's super funny, and it's got every IP from like video games to anime to classic cartoons.
What's up with the guy
to the
spanking that
Terminator and-
girl character down in a corner? That's weird. There's Alpha
Oh,
the
dude,
sub
there's all
sandwich
sorts of-
dude.
Yeah. And you've got the aliens from but you can click on them. So you can click on the warrior bug from Starship Troopers right here,
Yeah.
and it'll give you a little information on some of them. They give you information on. This is
Oh, just left
something
of
from
that is
Daft
the little
Punk.
sloth guy that's in the DMV in that Disney movie or whatever. The two
Which
sloths. They're two sloths on
yeah.
a computer. They're like from the DMV office and stuff. That's hilarious.
Yeah, from Zootopia.
Zootopia, that's it. That's great.
Yeah, and it is rather expansive, but you can just spend as much time or as little time as you want
Yeah.
in each of these. This is Cube.
Yeah, the cube.
The movie Cube. Yeah. Dude, and look, Earthworm Jim here. You know, you've got
Jabba the Hutt's up there
all
in the
sorts of stuff.
infirmary.
Yeah, dude, and you can just explore each and every one of these little rooms and have
That
a
nurse
ton
just
of fun.
flashed that
And-
patient, by the way, too. So this might not be child appropriate at all times, but it is fun.
Which one?
You go into the infirmary, the room right above Superman, and then down
right here?
one, there's like a nurse flashing the guy in the black tank top there, down at the foot of his bed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, watch the
I
nurse
haven't
right there.
seen that.
See the nurse feeding the guy?
Yeah, yeah.
Look at the nurse at the foot of the bed. Watch her for a second.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I don't think there's actually any nudity in here.
Yeah, no,
but
there's
there
not.
is
But
like
it's
kind of some.
a little suggestive.
There's
But
some
hey.
bathroom. Right. Yeah, it's probably PG-13.
Yeah, this
So,
is
because
pretty funny.
there are some butts in the bathroom. I remember that.
Oh, the
but, like,
Joker and Harley Quinn are preggers sitting in the infirmary
yeah.
room, and he's pushing a stroller with a baby holding a POW
like
gun.
next to Sailor Moon.
Hey, there's Chuck
Next to
Norris.
Sailor Moon. Yeah.
Yeah, this is great.
So, ooh, what happened? I just cracked the screen. That's crazy.
Chuck Norris
I think
punched
because I
you.
tried to click.
Keep an eye on
that's
Chuck,
great.
though. Yeah.
But yeah, Bruce Lee, like, and if you go out and you zoom out, you can just kind of pick. Oh, I think that's as far as we can zoom out, but you can just keep going. There's so many fun little rooms that you can explore and just check out everybody. And it's pretty expansive, but it's a time killer. If you just want to sit in a room and just kind of play around on this,
Yeah.
it's an absolute time killer that you don't have to really invest in, that you can just kind of kill time when you're hanging out with family over the holidays or on road trips or anything like that. It doesn't take any investment on your part. You just go to the website and you just walk around and click on weird stuff. And what's funny is that it's kind of like a moving Where's Waldo without Waldo.
Yeah, and he keeps
may be in
adding
here.
stuff
I have
to it,
no
it looks
idea. I
like.
have not explored anything. Yeah, he keeps adding stuff to it, and so you this has taken him a couple of years, and he says he's probably got another year or two to go to finish it up. But he's killing it. I'm loving everything in here.
Nice.
Like, it is hilarious, some of the stuff that you come across, but highly recommend. So, but
Well done. Floor796.com.
um,
This week's dope.
so that is my dope of the week, bringing a little joy to the world. That sometimes when you have to deal with shootings and bot farms from Iran and
From the Midwest or
Netflix
wherever that is.
mergers and, yeah, and stuff like that, or
Yeah.
fogs that make you sick, news like that, and you're just like done. Like, just go play around in room 796 for a little while, or floor 796 for a while, and kind of forget stuff for a little while. There's still joy in the world.
There is still
There's
joy in the
still
world.
fun.
I had some joy with our next segment. You asked me
Yeah.
last week on this
excited for
show
this.
to come up with Angel's Mighty Christmas movie list. I was to select the top 10 Christmas movies. I'm going to throw an Uno reverse card on you.
Okay.
You're going to tell me what my favorite movie is based on the description that I've written about the movie. And you're going to try
I don't have to, I already know it.
You're going to try and guess the top 10 favorite movies. We both know my number one, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I'll start with my list because I'm going to read you the description that is most associated with the film. You try and guess what it is. Cool? Number 10. Cool. A small Vermont inn is saved when 4 people accidentally generate an entire state's GDP through the power of nostalgia and coordinated tap dancing.
White Christmas.
That's White Christmas. Absolutely. Number 9. A single mother meets a man who lives in the mall, claims to be Santa, may or may not be immortal, and somehow this is treated as a reasonable basis for a custody battle. He's right there, chat.
Is that Miracle on 34th Street?
You can take your pick, 1947 or 1994. That is Miracle on 34th Street. Absolutely. Player's choice. Right. Number 8. A cave-dwelling loner commits large-scale larceny to teach a town full of sugary cultists a lesson about materialism, only to return everything after a single child guilt ambushes him with compassion.
That's obviously the Grinch who stole Christmas.
That's the Grinch.
Is that the original or the Jim Carrey version?
Player's choice. Yeah, it's we'll go. Jim Carrey was what was on the top of my mind when I put that in. Number 7. A wealthy octogenarian straps on a red suit and relies entirely on forced labor and undocumented elves to meet impossible holiday deadlines until Tim Allen kills him in an OSHA-prohibited incident and takes his job.
The Santa Claus.
The Santa Claus, that's absolutely right. Number 6, a husband's attempt to watch a quiet Christmas parade is disrupted by neighbors, gaslighting, broken infrastructure, and societal pressure to blind an entire neighborhood with excessive lighting.
Christmas Vacation.
It's Christmas Vacation. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Number 5.
Awesome.
Number 5, a sentient snow golem emerges from the cosmos to haunt an entire town, guilt trip a widow, and manipulate a grieving kid with magic harmonica necromancy.
Say one more time.
A sentient snow golem emerges from the cosmos to haunt an entire town, guilt trip a widow, and manipulate a grieving child with the magic of harmonica necromancy.
Man, I don't know this one.
That's Jack Frost.
Okay. Okay, that's one that I haven't really watched a lot of. It's not on my heavy rotation. But
you got 5 out of 6 so far. Number 4. Let's see. An 8-year-old sociopath gleefully defends his home while using elaborate death traps, suggesting that maybe the real Christmas miracle was an unregulated suburban weaponry cache.
That would be Home Alone.
That's Home Alone. That's absolutely right.
Yeah. I saw a video today that was trying to explain that Home Alone is actually a Christian-themed movie, and that the old man with the shovel is actually the Christ figure in it. It was a pretty funny video, but yeah.
I love the parallels. All right, we're gonna get into number 3. A freedom-loving kid spends December fighting the oppressive anti-BB gun lobby made up entirely of his parents, teachers, and a mall Santa with zero respect for responsible childhood marksmanship. After surviving a month of propaganda about shooting his eye out, he eventually exercises his right to bear tiny arms. Naturally, the first thing that happens is a minor injury because personal responsibility is a journey, and God bless the Second Amendment.
That would be the classic Christmas Story.
It's a Christmas Story, absolutely right.
Yeah.
Number 2, a New York cop attends a holiday party, kills several Europeans, detonates half a skyscraper, and still makes it home in time for Christmas, proving family is really the greatest present of all.
That would be Die Hard.
That's Die Hard, which is a Christmas movie. Come at me.
It is a Christmas movie. I'm not. I fully agree with you. I'm on board.
Number 1, you already know, but A reindeer with a
Yeah.
workplace disability is bullied by management, ostracized by his peers, and forced into hazardous flight duty under extreme weather conditions. But it's okay now because they decide he's useful at the last second.
It's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
It is. Narrated
and
by Burl
with his-
Ives. The classic claymation is my absolute favorite Christmas movie. I love it.
With his dental loving friend who goes along.
Hermie doesn't like to make toys. He wants to be a dentist. Get back to elf practice. Yeah. No, I love it. In fact,
Good list.
I got some ornaments this year with Rudolph and the Abominable Snowman and Hermie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Good,
they're on the tree now. So those are my top 10.
That's a great list. That is a great list. I have a couple on there that are on mine too.
Okay,
but
sure.
actually, ours are actually a little different. So,
Yeah, okay, sure.
and a couple of them are doubles. I've got 3 of them that are kind of like joined at the hip type ones. So
It's like I've got
kinda
Die Hard
cheated on
1
my
and
top 10.
2 on there. Yeah.
So number 10 would be Home Alone
Sure.
for me, but also Violent Night,
Okay.
which is relatively new. It's something Harbor. He's the cop from Stranger Things playing Santa. And it was not only charming, but what's funny is that it is like a very, very violent adult version. Part of the movie, the little kid in it sets up death traps for the terrorist guys that are trying to kill Santa and her.
Was Mel Gibson in that
And-
one?
No, that's Fat Man. That's a
Fat
different
Man.
one.
Okay,
but
got it.
Similar theme. But Violent Night, and there's a whole bunch of these death traps set up, but they're actually like killing people, not just maiming them.
Sure.
So it had Home Alone vibes to it, but we saw it in the theater and we loved it. It was great. But so those two kind of take the number 10 spot for me. Number 9 is actually anti-Christmas movies. They're horror films called Rare Exports, which is I think it's a Finnish film, like from Finland. And Krampus.
Yeah,
Both
there
of
it
them
is.
are Krampus movies.
Yeah, the demon goat
Yep,
man.
so-
yeah.
Yeah, the German anti-Santa Claus type movies that used to
Did
scare
both of
kids
these
into being
tie for
good.
number 9?
Yeah, because they're both
Okay.
Krampus movies. Rare Exports came out before Krampus.
Okay.
Krampus was actually directed by Mike Doherty, who directed like Trick or Treat, and I've always loved his stuff. But Rare Exports was this really unique film of this poor father living on a snowy tundra in the the Finnish area or whatever, and he, like Northern Europe, some kind of place up there. He obviously he's a widower. He has a young boy who's kind of weird and he knows it, but he's trying to make him not weird. And they live in a very small town that their main money comes from a reindeer processing, that they get a big herd and they hunt them and then sell them for the year, or gather them and sell them to like Christmas stuff around the world that need like real reindeer or whatever, right? So it's their biggest crop once a year. And in the meantime, there's this big hill in town that this rich British guy has come and bought. And they're digging into it and they're finding sawdust that's around ice. And he's like, he's rich, evil guy trying to figure, he knows what's in there. And they unleash an army of these old Santa Claus looking Krampus creatures that they end up having to try to figure out what to do because they're wreaking havoc. And it's slightly scary, really funny, really touching, really endearing. And the ending is top notch. It
Nice.
is hilarious. So highly recommend that. Number 8 is actually my son's favorite Christmas movie of all time. He watches it multiple times a year, or during this season, multiple times. And he gets up before everybody and watches it on Christmas morning. And it is a newer movie, and it's called Klaus. It's a Netflix original, and it's an animated movie about a male guy who goes to gets sent off. He's like some rich guy who gets sent off to a small town and kind of endears himself to the town while he also befriends this old guy out in the woods because he had to deliver mail, and he's a woodworker, and it's basically a retelling of the Santa Claus story, and it's really, really touching and endearing. The animation's really great. Beautiful movie.
I can't. Every
My
time
number
I hear
seven-
Klaus, I think of Klaus from John Wick, where he's like, "I am Klaus," and just like blackjacks John Wick over the head and drags him off. Like that's his only line.
but
I am Groot. I am Klaus. That's it.
I highly recommend. I think you would actually like Klaus. So, my number 7 was Rudolph.
Yeah.
So it definitely made its way up there.
Yeah.
But Rudolph is quintessential. It is our generation. If you were to put a memory around around childhood Christmas, it's Rudolph. Like it is 100% Rudolph.
Yeah.
I've tattooed Rudolph characters. People really love the claymation of that time frame that they were doing those, but Rudolph is the one that stands out, and it is Christmas. Like you can't get away from Christmas without watching Rudolph at least one time. My number 6 was The Ref.
Okay.
And I don't know if do you remember this movie? So The Ref is a movie set around Christmas in rich New England area of some kind. And it's when Dennis Leary was in his prime.
Okay.
Like right after he did like I'm an Asshole and all of his comedy stuff, and he was starting to get into acting like Demolition Man and stuff like that. They gave him a lead role as a burglar who escapes from jail and is trying to get away, but he gets trapped in this New England town and takes over a house with a couple in it, played by Kevin Spacey and I forget the lady's name, but they're a couple on the verge of divorce, and they hate each other, and they're constantly bickering and arguing. Their son is away at military school, but they're getting prepped for the family get-together, and he has to put up with all their fighting and crap, and then the son is a total like con artist that is blackmailing the person from his military school, his headmaster there, and the in-laws are showing up, and they're just horrible. The mother's horrible. The brother and sister are horrible. And he has to pretend to be the marriage counselor.
Nice.
And it is hilarious. It is one of my favorite Christmas movies because it's just, and he brings them together through basically telling them that they're idiots. You're idiots, all of you. And it's a really solid film. So, number 5 is The Family Man, which is kind of a recreation in reverse of It's a Wonderful Life. Basically, a rich guy who high-end lawyer played by Nicolas Cage somehow warps, he's a single guy, womanizer, super rich but super shallow, hollow life, almost Scrooge-like, but he ends up getting transported into the body of a man that before he became all rich with like his ex from when he was in college, his one true love kind of thing. But what it would have been like had he stayed with her, working at the tire place for dad and having kids. And he's freaking out obviously at first because it's icky and nothing what he wanted. And they're acting like, why are you acting weird? And then like he has to kind of settle in and figure out like how to get out of that situation, but in the meantime he realizes the value of that life, and that what he had actually was empty and shallow, and what this is, and then he starts being afraid he's going to lose it if he goes back to his real life. Really, really touching, great movie. One of Nicolas Cage, like you gotta love Nicolas Cage, but this one's a really good, solid family Christmas movie. Number 4 is Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
You can't, like, it is a solid rotation. I've probably already seen it 3 times this year. We watch it on Christmas Day. Number 3 is The Nativity Story. relatively new one. Came out a couple years ago, maybe 8 years ago or so by now. Um, and it's just the true meaning of Christmas. You know, it is
Yeah.
the birth of Jesus. It is, and it is beautifully done, much like, um, you know, not to such the great epic scale that, what's the Mel Gibson
The Passion.
crucifixion movie?
The Passion
Yeah,
of
the
the Christ.
Passion.
Yeah.
It's not quite. Yeah, it's not quite to that scale, but it's still really well done, and they do a really good job of bringing you into that time frame of when he was born, and it's a beautiful movie. I love watching it. Number two is also a two-parter,
Okay.
and that's because it's the Christmas story, and I love the Christmas story. That is like Rudolph for me.
Yeah.
The other one that says this is Christmas, right? And but they made a part two a couple years afterwards, and it was trash, and everybody just like didn't even acknowledge that it existed. But then, like 2 years ago, the original cast got back together, with the exception of the father, because the actor had passed away, and the mother, Kate Capshaw, decided not to do it. She was going through some health issues or something. But all the other cast members, the friends, the brother, you know, Ralphie, all of them, all came back to make a sequel where Ralphie's grown up and he has a family of his own. He's an aspiring writer that's taken a hiatus from work to really focus in on his writing career. They're not making a lot of money, but they go out to their dad's house, and they use the same house. They go out to their parents' house, and he finds out that his dad has passed away. And the mom says, you need to come home for Christmas, bring the kids. So they all go out there, and it's now incumbent upon him to provide the Christmas. And hijinks ensue, and lots of fun happens, but I don't think they've ever put together a better sequel. Like,
Nice.
It was such a torchlighting for the original movie, and they carried it through. All of the other, you know, all of his rascal friends that are there, even Scott Farkas shows up.
Nice. So they're just
like,
playing all the
whole
hits while
crew's
they're
back.
doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and really, but telling a new story where it's shifting. Now he has become the father that has to provide this miracle for his kids, and it is one of the best sequels ever made. So I felt it was okay to kind of tie those two together. But my number one, which is without a doubt, I'm pretty sure you could probably guess which one my number one is.
Battlefield Earth.
That is correct.
That's right. I have no idea, actually.
L. Ron Hubbard's Battlefield Christmas.
It's classic.
No, It's a Wonderful Life.
Bro, could you imagine if they sent spaceships down and they did a Battlefield Christmas?
It would be part of their Bible. It would be normal. So,
oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I should have guessed A Wonderful Life. I don't, in the pantheon of Christmas films, I have to agree on second look. Like, if you were to say what's my favorite movie of all time, that would have been my guess, because I think it's like classic and then Christmas theme, but you're right. Like, it's very much both.
Yeah, and so much. It's the only one that I have a tattoo of.
Right.
That's George Bailey, and George Bailey, since I was a kid, was always a hero of mine. He was a man who sacrificed everything he wanted for everybody else's betterment, and to me, that was such a striking example of what a true man should be. He gave everything up for other people, but meant so much to his community by doing that he was such a hero to me. And I'm a huge Jimmy Stewart fan, but every year we watch this movie. My kids love this movie now. My wife loves this. My wife now has a matching Mary, who, you know, Mary Bailey over on this arm, so when we're holding hands, they're together. But he was such a good example of a man, and the movie was so brilliantly written. and it was the movie that actually right after World War II that Jimmy Stewart went and fought in World War II. It was the first movie he did afterwards, and it actually saved his life because it was such an amazing story that it brought him out of the depression that he was in from the war, and really set him on track for a whole new kind of viewpoint in his life and in his work. And it was such an incredible film from beginning to end. But I see new things as I get older. The jokes in the movie and the quick talking and stuff all end up kind of building into different meanings as you get older. You're like, that had layers to it, and I can watch it over and over again. It is one of the most beautiful movies ever made. Frank Capra, really, this was his masterpiece. There was another movie he did with Jimmy Stewart that I watch on New Year's every year, which is Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, and it's a reminder of how our political system it really operates, and even going all the way back into 1938. But It's a Wonderful Life tops my list without exception, and it is something that I can watch all year round, but I watch it multiple times during the Christmas season. So
Nice.
I have three honorable mentions that didn't make the list, but they still are in our rotation. Number 3 is Elf. Because it's just fun. It's fun, it's a fun movie. If I don't see it, it doesn't break my heart, but if it's on, I'll watch it. Number 2 is Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah, that one's good.
So it's a good one. There's other Christmas carols that I actually enjoy too, but the one that sticks is Muppet Christmas Carol. And then number one like honorable mention is the romantic comedy Love Actually. And so, and it's not for everyone. We still haven't let our kids watch that. There's a lot of adult situations in that just isn't appropriate, and it's just basically set around Christmas. It's not even really a Christmas movie, but my wife and I enjoy it. We watch it like as we're settling in after wrapping all the presents and everything. We'll put on Love Actually like on Christmas Eve after everyone's gone to bed. We've already watched our Christmas Eve movies, and it's just on in the background. We kind of fall asleep to that. So, but yeah. But that is the list.
That's a big list.
That is the list. I really enjoyed yours and having to guess. I love the write-ups that you did.
You did really well too. A couple of them were pretty dead giveaways. An 8-year-old sociopath. I didn't even need to get to the rest. We're like, oh, that's Home Alone. Yeah. Oh, and quick shout out from this podcast to all the city boys that are about to get dumped for some flannel wearing country kid that reconnects with his long lost crush from high school in every one of those Hallmark movies.
The Hallmark movies.
It's going to happen to you. I'm sorry. It's going to happen a bunch.
Some apple farmer out there who's about to lose his business, but
that's it.
I totally,
Yep.
Yeah.
So
those rich boys always end up losing out on those.
She's going to leave you, man. Sorry about that.
All modern romance movies, every single one of them, all of the biggest blockbusters, and most of these type of stories is literally cheating.
Yeah.
Every single time. Every single time the woman is cheating on a guy, and that's what they consider romance.
I mean, if you really want to boil Love Actually down, there's some problems there. And then if you really dig deep and go, oh, Keira Knightley was only 17 years old when they shot this film, it takes on a whole new life.
The reality of like everything from Titanic to any major romantic movie, and then all of the Hallmark movies are all basically just The Notebook, all of them. All of them. It's just basically the girl
follow your heart, not your decision making.
So but thanks. That's you know,
Thanks,
the
Hallmark movies.
well, that's
No.
the spawn of Pride and Prejudice. You know, Pride and Prejudice created a genre, and this genre got manipulated. And Jane Austen, not Pride and Prejudice specifically, but Jane Austen created this romance genre that ended up mutating and getting messed up through Disney, and then through this idea of romance that ended up becoming, you know, expectations that can't be met for what real romance is, and then also cheating is okay as long as you end up with the heartthrob.
Right. Whatever your heart's desire is, then that's what makes that okay. Yeah.
So,
but
yeah. So that was the movie reviews of the week.
That's a big one.
And I think all we have left is the Overlord tip of the week.
That's it. We're on to number 11, are we not?
We are. So, so I will be secure in my superiority as the Overlord.
Sure.
And you need to have a confidence and a security in that. Do not allow for even the slightest thought of insecurity to get into your head. Therefore, I will feel no need to prove it by leaving clues in the form of riddles or leaving my weaker enemies alive to show they pose no threat. Absolutely not. Like, commanding iron-fisted confidence is what you need. You do not, leave breadcrumbs. Don't leave trails. Don't leave riddles for people to figure it out because you want to get caught. Because no. This is all. I
feel personally attacked by that after last night's game. I'm just going to throw that out there. I agree, though. You should have utmost confidence in your overlordiness.
Yeah. Like, do not take this for granted that, you're the smartest guy in the room. You may not be. Be okay with that. Be confident in that, and just shut the door. Just make sure that you're not leaving breadcrumb trails. You're not leaving like clues or riddles. Eliminate your threat. Right. Eliminate your threat out of the gate. You don't have to worry about it any farther. It makes no sense to.
I think centuries from now, when people are unpacking the hidden messages in these podcasts from this show, long after we're gone, they're going to be like, wow, the nuggets of wisdom in those Overlord tips. If you really unpack the efficiency of human nature nested within that, if you just slice off all the evil parts, brilliant. Yeah. They were really saying something before they knew they were saying something, Like, you're damn right. This is the most efficient list out there going. It's great.
They'll put us in a large tome, leather bound tome, and it'll be all like the wise words of the modern relics.
Yeah, and then if you backmask all of our podcasts, no, I'm just kidding.
I'm already trying to fight Fed allegations. Don't start bringing backmasking.
Oh yeah, dude. If you just listen to, what is it, Pink Floyd's The Wall, while listening to any one of our episodes, it actually tells the story. That one is eerie, though, with Wizard of Oz. Have you ever done that experiment?
It is. Yeah.
It's kind of like... Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't... I honestly, we can go into that. Maybe we'll do that as one of our conspiracy
corners,
yeah. I don't want to get too far into it, but
and Kubrick faked the moon landing. Anyway, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Do you got anything to plug before heading out this week?
Not necessarily. Okay. Just go to our social medias. Wish us Merry Christmas. Throw us comments if you want us to talk about anything over the course of the next year. We're coming into a new year. What do you want us to tackle in a new year? How do the direction of the show that you would like to see? We'll probably tell you to go screw yourself because we do what we want to do and you don't get a choice. Yeah. But we're open to suggestions. So, but outside of that, hit us up in the comments. And if you're in the in the Coeur d'Alene, Spokane area, hit me up for tattoos. I've got some openings. But outside of that, I'd like to see, my Christmas wish would be to see more traction. So share this and more traction on the social media as well.
Nice. I love it. Yeah, I think we'll
Yeah.
probably sneak one in next week, schedules depending. I think Christmas week I cannot. So
Right. Same.
we'll probably be off that week. But we're also barreling toward our 100th episode, which will happen later this year as well. So we'll probably do something really fun, maybe a look back or something.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
What number are we at right now?
I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to say 79.
Uh,
Let me see. Mm, 77 is tonight. Tonight marks our 77th episode. So,
wow.
yep.
That's crazy.
And I'm going to really mess with everyone on the titles because last week I titled it Data Through the Snow in a One World Open Sleigh because we were talking a lot about data last week. So have a good and safe holiday. We'll probably catch up with y'all next week. And then after that, happy holidays. We will
Merry
see
Christmas,
you
everyone.